Hi, my lovelies. How are you today? I hope you're doing good. I have a live here that I want to share with you that I believe is going to be quite special. I want you to sit back and relax. Just pay attention to me, my words, my actions, the sounds and sights that you see. So, I apologize for any inconvenient background noise. I have dogs that sometimes bark, and I know it can be frustrating because they'll go woof, woof, woof over and over and over again, and there's not a whole lot that I can do about it, not at this point in time. So, please try to ignore it and enjoy. So, I've written some things down, and I have some props. We are going to talk about witchcraft today. And we're going to enjoy the sights and sounds and stories that we get to have, and I'm excited about it. I hope that you are too. So, now, let's begin, if you don't mind. It's time to slow down. I want you to follow my instructions, okay? Breathe in slowly and out heavily, just like this. Just let that resonate with you. Let your body calm. Let your mind calm. Everything is okay. Hello to everyone that is joining. I really appreciate your company. You're in a safe space. You're here with me. Everything is okay. I want you to now name 5 things around you. 5. Can you do that for me? 30 things that you can touch right now. Whether it be even your own hands. I want you to be able to focus on what you're feeling right now, what you're seeing, on what you hear. Okay? And breathe in and out. Tell me how you feel. Is your heart racing? Have you calmed? Everything is okay. You are okay. Let's try to slow down. Slow down. Slow our hearts and our minds. Slow our bodies. Breathe in and out. In and out. Let yourself feel your emotions. It's okay, whatever you might be feeling. Everything you feel is okay. You're doing very good. Very good. So, like I said, we're going to be telling some stories now about witchcraft and history. We'll pause every now and then and have no talking periods. where we can just enjoy some sounds and maybe some visuals, like the people here wrestling now. But first, I want you to make sure that you're nice and comfy. Whether you're lying down, sitting in your easy chair, maybe even standing. If you're on break at work, maybe quiet down, quiet down. We're going to do a couple of stretches. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Thank you. We're going to stretch out our arms, just like this. And stretch. And stretch again. And stretch. Now we're going to stretch our heads and our neck. Mine popped. I need a good stretch. And we're going to stretch our backs. And once more on each side. And we're going to take another couple of nice deep breaths in through our nose. And hold it. 3, 2, 1. And again, in through our nose. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay. Now, who's ready for a little story time? I'm going to read a paragraph or two, pause, and then move on to some sounds and sights for your ASMR tingle pleasure. Hello everybody. Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. Okay. So, I don't have this memorized. I don't have any of these things memorized, which I probably should have. But I do have them written down. And you'll get to hear some nice page flipping. Which is always lovely. I love a good book and a page flip. And I try to interact as much as possible while I'm reading. Witchcraft, traditionally an exercise or invocation of alleged supernatural powers to control people or events. Practices typically involving sorcery or magic. Although defined differently in disparate historical and cultural contexts, witchcraft has often been seen, especially in the West, as a work of crones who meet secretly at night and indulge in cannibalism and orgiastic rites with the devil, perform black magic, or other horrible things. Witchcraft, thus defined, exists more in the imagination of contemporaries than in any objective reality. Yet this stereotype has long history and has constituted for many cultures a viable explanation of evil in the world. Now, witchcraft today is quite different, and we will get into that. But in the 14th to the 18th century, it was persecuted, unfortunately. And not just by women getting hung or burned or drowned, but men too, and children. Witchcraft has changed drastically today. Moreover, the problem of defining witchcraft is made more difficult because concepts underlying these words also change according to time and place. sometimes radically. Different cultures do not share a coherent pattern of witchcraft. Beliefs, which often blend other concepts such as magic, sorcery, religion, folklore, theology, technology, and diabolism. Some societies regard a witch as a person with inherent supernatural powers, but in the West, witchcraft has been more commonly believed to be an extraordinary person's free choice to learn and practice magic with the help of the supernatural. Are there such things as witches? There actually are. People practice that as a religion today. But are there witches according to what the Europeans used to believe? Probably not. But witches were healers at one point. Healers, doctors. Anyone who knew more than what they should have about the body and fixing like a illness or a broken joint or joint bone, or someone who had the knowledge of herbalism and plants. So I will start with some sounds from the last book of Armor Burgundies. Some book flipping sounds. I have some pages marked in this. It's a very good book. It has all kinds of knowledge about natural herbal remedies. Thank you for liking my live. I really appreciate it. A big heart to you. I appreciate the support. Thank you. So, are you ready for some more witchcraft knowledge? These kind of things fascinate me, so. And it's been a while since I read up on any of this. So, one pivotal text that shaped the witch hunts was the Malleus Maleficarum, a 1486 treatise that provided a framework for identifying, prosecuting, and punishing witches. The burgeoning influence of the Catholic Church led to a wave of witch trials across Europe. Usually accusations of witchcraft were made by neighbors involved in social tensions. Accusations often targeted marginalized individuals, including women, the elderly, and those who did not conform to societal norms. Women made accusations as often as men. The common people believed that magical healers called cunning folk or wise people could undo bewitchment. Healers and cunning folk were sometimes denounced as witches. which is what I was trying to say just a moment ago, but I couldn't get it out quite right. But anyway, they seem to have made up a minority of the accused in any area. The witch craze reached its peak between the 16th and 17th centuries, resulting in the execution of tens of thousands of people. This dark period of history reflects the confluence of superstition, fear, and authority, as well as the societal tendency to find scapegoats for complex problems. Since the 1940s, neo-pagan witchcraft movements have emerged in Europe, seeking to revive and reinterpret ancient pagan and mystical practices. Wicca, pioneered by Gerard Gardner, stands out as one of the most influential neo-pagan traditions, drawing inspiration from ceremonial magic, historical paganism, and now discredited witch cult theory. Wicca emphasizes a connection to nature, the divine, and personal growth. Similarly, Strigaria in Italy reflects a desire to reconnect with the country's pre-Christian spiritual roots. Many of these neo-pagans choose to self-identify as witches. Contemporary neo-pagan witchcraft in Europe encompasses a wide range of traditions, reflecting a blend of historical influences, modern interpretations, new religious movements, and search for spiritual authenticity in a rapidly changing world. The Salem witch trials were a series of hearings and prosecutions of people accused of witchcraft in colonial Massachusetts between February 1692 and May 1693. More than 200 people were accused. 30 people were found guilty, 19 of whom were executed by hanging, 14 women and 5 men. One other man, Giles Corey, died under torture after refusing to enter a plea. At least 5 people died in jail. It was a horrible, horrible time back then to be, mostly to be a woman because they were targeted the most, but to be different at that time. And today is so different because, well, it's still hard being different. You can still be yourself for the most part. So, who wants sequins? I have some various sounds. I don't know what everyone likes. But I thought that these would be fitting to go along with the story, because witches were chained up and tortured. So I thought this was a nice sound, this chain. Again, thank you for the support and liking my live. I really appreciate it. Now for something a little different. Some visual and sound. Okay, one more visual before I continue reading. Let's see. How about some nice pampering? Nice and slow and gentle. Know that you're okay and you're perfectly safe here. This is a safe space. You don't have to worry about anything. Everything is okay. You're okay. You don't have to worry about anything right now. You're valued, wanted, loved, needed in this world. You have your own place and it is perfectly fine. And you're doing the best you can with what you have. And it doesn't matter what people say or do. You just need to be yourself. Because you, as you, are perfect. Everything's okay. Sit back and relax. My face is very soft and my touch is very gentle and very easy. Okay. We'll read just a little bit more. Put my glasses back on so I can see. While witch trials had begun to fade out across much of Europe, in the mid-17th century, they continued on the fringes of Europe and in the American colonies. The events of 1692 to 1693 in Salem became a brief outburst of a sort of hysteria in the New World, when practice was already waning in most of Europe. In 1668, and against modern Sadducism, Joseph Glanville claimed that he could prove the existence of witches and ghosts of the supernatural realm. Glanville wrote about the denial of the bodily resurrection and the spirits. In his treatise, Glanville claimed that ingenious men should believe in witches and apparitions. If they doubted the reality of spirits, they not only denied demons, but also the Almighty God. Glanville wanted to prove that the supernatural could not be denied. Those who did deny apparitions were considered heretics, for it also discouraged their beliefs in angels. Works by men such as Glanville and Cotton Mather tried to prove that demons were alive. Accusations was inadmissible, which caused a dramatic reduction in the rate of convictions and may have hastened the end of the trials. A copy of this letter was printed in Increased Mather's Cases of Conscience, published in 1693. The publication of Trial of Witches related to the 1662 Berry Street Edmonds witch trial was used by magistrates at Salem when looking for precedents in allowing spectral evidence. Modern witchcraft today is the activity of practicing magic. There is usually a spiritual component, but there is a misconception that it is always associated with a religion. There are religions that follow a set of rituals and holidays such as Wicca and types of paganism. Witches aren't always religious. Wicca is a less of a religion than a belief than experience and rituals. There are 8 major holidays throughout the year, which normally marked by a ritual. They commemorate the beginning and height of each season. Right now, what is considered the most important holiday by most Wiccans, Samhain, is about to occur on October 31st. Yes, and Halloween. At Samhain, the veil between the worlds of the living and dead is believed to be the thinnest, making it possible to contact one's ancestors and deceased loved ones. The holiday celebrates death as a necessary part of the natural cycle. Rituals celebrating the season encourage people to mourn those who have passed, to reflect on their own ultimate death, and to think of those things they want to die, that is, in their lives, such as bad habits or a bad relationship. In spring, new birth and new beginnings are celebrated in nature and in people's lives. Each season brings a different set of changes to be commemorated. Neo-pagan witchcraft, sometimes referred to as the craft, is an umbrella term for some neo-pagan traditions that include the practice of magic. These traditions began in the 20th century, and many were influenced by the witch cult hypothesis, a now rejected theory that persecuted witches in Europe had actually been followers of a surviving pagan religion. The largest and most influential of these movements was Wicca. Some other groups and movements describe themselves as traditional witchcraft to distinguish themselves from Wicca. I think that's very interesting, don't you? So, I'll make a few more ASMR visuals and sounds, and I'm going to mark the spot. I can't see without the glasses to read, and I can't see with the glasses on, period. So, how about some more pampering? Just brush your hair, get some tangles out. This is a nice thin comb. It's very good for getting the tangles out. It's very relaxing and calming. Just brush, 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 brush. Brush away those flyaways. Get them out of your face. Get them out of your eyes. So that you can relax and sleep. It's time to rest. It's time to calm the mind. Take those deep breaths in through our nose and out through your mouth. Stretch again if you need to. Move your sitting bones. Get nice and comfortable. Now let you readjust. Thank you again for all the love and support. You have no idea what it means to me. And brush your hair just a little bit more. I think you have a little knot right there. There we go. That's out better. How is everyone's day? I hope it's doing good. Thank you for the likes. I really, really appreciate it. How about one more sound before I begin reading again? I have here a nice crystal. I can't remember for the life of me what this mineral is called. But it's very beautiful. It has a nice greenish tone. Okay. I still have a few pages to get through. I would like to get through anyway. Okay. Back to where we left off. These neo-pagans use definitions of witchcraft which are distinct from those used by many anthropologists, and from some historic understandings of witchcraft, such as that of pagan Rome, which had laws against harmful magic. Wicca is a syncretic modern pagan religion that draws upon a diverse set of ancient pagan and modern hermetic motifs for its theological structure and ritual practices. Various forms of Wicca are now practiced. as a religion with positive ethical principles, organized into autonomous covens and led by a high priesthood. Wiccans typically identify as pagans and are heavily inspired by the extinct pre-Christian religions of Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia, and to a lesser extent by living non-Abrahamic religions such as Hinduism. They usually call themselves witches, although in contrast to the traditional idea that witches are inherently bad, Wiccans give them the term positive connotations in the religion's early decades. Most Wiccans adhered to the idea that the Egyptologist cum folklorist Margaret Murray that people persecuted as witches during the early modern period followed a pre-Christian religion. While many Wiccans no longer believe this discredited notion, they often feel a kinship with those historically accused of witchcraft. Drawing on terminology associated with witchcraft, Wiccan groups call themselves covens. These are often led by a high priest and a high priestess and can have as few as 3 members, although 13 is repeatedly cited as the ideal number. Coven membership is typically granted through an initiation ritual. In several older traditions, such as Gardnerian and Alexandrian Wicca, initiates can advance through 2 additional degrees, reflecting the influence of Freemasonry's a 3-degree system. Being initiated into a tradition connects the newcomer to that tradition's lineage, something that certain Wiccans place great importance on. Admittance to a coven is typically at the discretion of its members. Some covens are eager to recruit, and others are closed to new initiates. Wiccan rituals typically take place in a practitioner's home, often at night rather than in a purpose-built structure. They take place in a circle at one end of which is an altar. Common ritual tools include a censer of incense, a chalice, a pentacle, a wand, and a knife known as an athame, which is not used to draw blood. Some Wiccans perform rituals naked or sky-clad, while others wear robes or everyday clothing. Wiccans in the belief that doing so will bring about a desired change in the physical universe, commonly for healing or to assist those in need. Most Wiccans accept the so-called Wiccan Rede, an ethical code that states, if it harm none, do what you will, and they reject cursing as unethical. After a coven ritual is completed, a meal will often be shared. Hello everyone who has joined recently during my story time. So I have a couple other little sounds for you that I hope that you can find to be relaxing. This is obsidian. And this is citrine, known to bring money into the home. This is a beautiful piece of amethyst. I don't know how well you can see it with my lighting. But it is very, very lovely. Something wondrous. Something that Wiccans would use as a healing stone. Here's a piece of jade. Look at that. Across your face. Just like this. There. Your skin is so good now. Put in your hair and your skin. You look lovely. I'm going to read just a little bit more. And we're going to be wrapping things up soon. It is important to note that witches are not just women. Many men, transgender, and gender-expansive individuals also partake in magic practice. People also draw from witchcraft practices from their family history. Many witches look into traditions from their family's countries of origin. And finally, we discuss the different types of witches that there are today. There is the coven-based witch, a witch who operates as part of a wider group of witches, perhaps led by a high priestess who combine their magical powers and skills to create stronger, bigger spells and manifest outcomes for the group and beyond. Covens focus more on ceremonial and ritualistic magic. Solitary witch, a witch who works alone and under their own steam rather than with a group of other witches. A solitary witch can follow one particular branch of witchcraft or a combination. Hereditary witch. Just like the name sounds, a hereditary witch is someone who inherited their powers or the practice through their family line. Crystal witch. Crystal witches are deeply connected to the vibration and power of crystals, gems, rocks, and stones, and they practice crystal magic to manifest, amplify, and attract energy. So, my lovelies, not all people would agree with witchcraft. Not all people would believe in it. But we, I believe, can all agree that there is something out there. There is more to this mortal coil that meets the eye. That is the end of my witchcraft story, history. But I do have a few more sounds I'd like to share with you. If you're willing and ready. I have this large agate chunk. Thank you, Miss Wood, for the love and the shares. For anyone who wanted to join my live and may have missed it, I will be posting this on YouTube under my same name, Blue Ivy ASMR. This is a very lovely piece. Very reflective. try to pick out sounds and cite triggers that go along with my storyline. I hope that they all fit very well. I think they do. I love feathers. So soft. So relaxing and gentle. Across your forehead, down this temple, and your jawline just out of the side of the pupil, down your chin, and we'll go all the way back up, jawline, and the temple, and back to your forehead. And then we'll take it just down your forehead to your nose and crush your mouth and close your eyes. Close your eyes. And then you'll go across your brow. There. Isn't that nice? So calming, so relaxing. Now, I'm going to take the dull end. Don't worry, I won't poke you. I'm just going to trace over your face. Trace over your face. Trace little circles here and there. Just like this. Very easy, very gentle. See, I'm touching my skin but I'm not poking. And that's what I'm doing with you. I'm just barely touching. Just very easy and soft. Sometimes it's nice to go from soft to dull. The different sensations. And then back on your forehead, just drawing little shapes, little swirls and hearts and squares. I'm not an artist, so just basic shapes. Down your face. This is you know what, I don't even know the name of it. Here it is. It's black on one side and white on the other. It's made of wood, and it's kind of like a Ouija board, but not exactly. It's a question board. You're supposed to hold a pendulum over it and ask a question. It has the months, numbers, days, yes and no on it. And then there are, I believe those are the astrological signs. It says the same thing on the white side and the black side. I don't know why it's two-sided like this. But it gives a lovely sound. I could definitely fall asleep to this. Thank you again for all the love that you give me, all the support. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much it means to me. I would love to be pampered with a fluffy brush and then move to a smaller brush like this. Just go gently down my face. And it's time to sleep now. We are coming to the end. I hope that I was able to teach you a little bit of something. I hope that you enjoyed your time here to spend with me. I enjoyed my time with you. I have one more sound and one more visual. And then that'll be the end of today's live. I have here a mortar and pestle that many witches or Wiccans would use to help grind up herbs. And I have some flowers in it. I guess that I would be considered to be a witch because I make many of my own things, my own beauty products. I like to do a lot of homemade, all-natural remedies, whether it be for skin or for health. So, that being said, I would have been considered a healer, which would have made me a witch in the early European Salem witch trials and during those times. And unfortunately, I would have been hung probably, which may have, because if you believe in reincarnation, which I kind of do, it makes sense for me because I can't stand anything tied around my neck. So, maybe I was reincarnated from being a witch. And that's why I'm so into crystals and herbs now. So, again, I want you to take a nice, deep breath. I apologize for background noise again. I'm not going to leave you in the dark. I'm going to light you away. And this is to help you see the darkness, how beautiful you are. And when I blow it out, I'm going to say goodbye. For now, not forever. So, you follow the candle, and you breathe. Breathe in through your nose, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and blow out through your mouth. In through your nose, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and blow. Adjust your sitting bones. And now, it's time to say good night. And until next time.